We've been talking about the kotel, excuse me, and the singing kotel. I'm sure that one is wondering, how did he move those stones? Especially, apparently there's a stone which weighs 400 tons, 20 meters long, 1.5 meters high, 1.5 meters deep. So, two opinions. One of them is that it was miraculous. Miracle, moved it. Others say that it was actually a lot of elbow grease. But in addition to the moving of those stones, how did he cut those stones? Because there's a pasuk in Torah that says, "V'mizbach avonim taseli, lo yisifne esen gozis, ki char b'choi nafto lev atchaleleo." Basically, as Rashi explains, what the Torah says over here, that one should not use any sharp iron metal to cut the stones for the Beis HaMikdash, for that matter, the pasuk space by the altar. Why? Because iron is material which is a deadly weapon. And it should not be used for the temple, which in essence is a place of peace. So how did they cut those stones? So we know there was, the shamir. What was the shamir? Let's just analyze it a little bit. Shamir in Aramaic means a flintstone. That was a supernatural organism. The Hebrew word shamir represents two things. Either a pen point made out of hard substance, or according to a pasuk in Yeshaya Novi, had very sharp thorns. In any case, as the Gemara tells us, that when that shamir would just go, crawl, whatever it was, on the surface of a hard stone, it would split perfectly into pieces. So this is what they used the shamir for. Where did he find it? In fact, the Medrash recounts that Shlomo Melech had no idea where to find the shamir. He had to invoke demons, etc. And finally it says that he captured the shamir in the mouth of a bird called the Chifas, the hoopoe. And that's how he found it. The whole shamir, pretty tiny, less than a centimeter in size. Not very inspiring and physical. But yet the Mishnah says that it had, as we just spoke, supernatural powers. When was it created, as it says in the Mishnah of Pirkei Avos? In the twilight of Friday afternoon and Shabbos, at the last moment. It was one of the things that was created Erev Shabbos ben Hashmoshes. And the Maharal of Prague explains, what is the meaning that it was explained that it was created in the twilight? So he explains that all the other things which were created during the day, it follows natural phenomena, natural powers. Since this was created in a time which is unusual time, in other words, it's neither day or night, it's a specific time, it represented that it has supernatural powers. In fact, it also says the donkey that spoke by Bilam, which was also supernatural, was also created at that time. The other place that we find that it was used for, according to the Gemara, it was used also to engrave the names of the tribes on the precious jewels of the Kohen Gadol's breastplate. Because there you needed an extremely fine tool. The shamir was used for that. There's a whole discussion how long it existed, how long it lasted. So the general idea is, as it says in Tosefta, that it was actually created specifically for the use of the Beis HaMikdash. There was no other use for it. It wasn't used for anything else. And as soon as the Beis HaMikdash was built, there was no need for it anymore, it disappeared. Science wants to give all kinds of explanations, obviously, and that's what the role of science is. So there's all kinds of theories. One is that it produced a high or a very low frequency of waves that could resonate the molecular structure of materials and disrupt them. Others say they had a kind of a laser beam or radioactivity. Whatever it was, science is trying to give some kind of explanations. To us, it's miraculous. And it's very obvious. The Beis HaMikdash is one miraculous place. The Beis HaMikdash is what? A physical building where the presence of God is revealed. That's miraculous. Miracle revealed miracles. Nothing less than everything else that exists, which is a big miracle. But that's what the Beis HaMikdash is all about. So, Ribboni Shalom, you can make a shamir, make us come out of Golus, show us the final miracle, save the people still trapped in Miami under the collapsed building, and save us all from exile.